afternoon and welcome to Chaturday Live, the home of live entertainment in support of mental health awareness. My name is Jason Robinson and we're here today live from the Mariners Rest in Lowestoft. And no, you're not seeing double. It is two gorgeous men sitting in front of a camera in the sunshine. It is Suffolk and good to be here. Mr. Darren Steger Lewis, hello.
Hello, how are we?
I'm good, thanks very much.
It's a beautiful day to be sat in a beer garden, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, this is just my garden. I don't know. This is where I live. So for those that obviously follow the show, you'll know what we're all about. And today's show is a special show because it kind of like kicks off the whole kind of big promotion now with the finalized details of this massive event that's going to be happening in this beer garden
right here,
literally in just over a month's time. So we're letting the word get out there, and one of the organizers and brains behind the idea is Mr. Darren Steger Lewis. Could you give us a bit of a brief description again what this is all about?
Okay, so Carlfest, as it has previously been known, is the largest free live music event in the town of Lowestoft. Now, I know I'm aware some of your viewers might not be aware of what is Lowestoft. It's a strange word. It's a strange place. It's the most easterly point in the UK, located in Suffolk, about 30 miles outside Norwich. There you go. That's
could you name at least two famous musicians or bands that would have come from this area?
Yeah, The Darkness.
That's one.
They are literally from this town. And
check it out.
Little Chris was
from here. Many
moons
ago.
Just up the road, Hannah from S Club 7. She was from just up the road in Gorleston.
Is she still here?
She's probably back.
I'll be back. No, go.
And then Ed Sheeran is from our county. So we've got a little bit of a, and Joe Pasquale's from around here as well, if that helps.
And Jim Davison lives here in Yarmouth.
He lives in Yarmouth. Yeah, we don't talk of Jim.
We have a very, very small niche but famous collection of...
you say we, like you're still here.
I don't live here anymore, that's right. I moved on to bigger and better things. That's fine. I moved north where the sun doesn't shine.
Anyway, back to
Carlfest. Go for it.
Carlfest is an event. It's the biggest live music event in the town. It features over 30 musical acts over the course of 4 days and a bank holiday weekend. We began in 2012 when my friend Carl Lawson was still with us. He set up the Charitable Foundation, Care and Real Lovin', said, I want to raise money through music events, and that's what we started doing. And he lost his battle with cancer back in 2012 in August. But we carried on the name of the charity and the event in his legacy. And we're now preparing for our 10th annual Carlfest.
10th.
So a decade. CFX, a decade of Carlfest.
CFX, and it all happens in this beer garden. And bear in mind, it's not the size of Wembley Arena.
Glasgow, are we?
It's not Glasgow. No. The atmosphere probably feels the same.
It's pretty epic.
It's pretty epic.
Is, yeah.
But we are currently sitting on what is 1/3 of the actual stage area.
We're where the drummer will be in a month. Essentially, we're where the kit will be.
So we're technically irrelevant and forgotten.
We're like cymbals.
Okay.
We're a couple of broken cymbals.
So obviously you can go on the Facebook page and everything. We've got a list here of some musicians. We're going to do some shout outs, but I guess the biggest shout out is to the landlady of the establishment that lets you take control of their garden.
So Sean and Leanne. Sean was best friends with Carl. Carl actually passed away in this pub. He came here for his respite, for his end of life care, for his palliative care. Sean and Carl were best friends, and so he had no choice. Carl convinced him, and so they offer us up their venue at a loss for that weekend. Genuinely, they put the outdoor beer tent on and make no money that weekend, and let me essentially just take over with the correct licensing and noise restrictions in place. But we kind of that's just how it is, and every weekend, once a year, the Mariners Rest turns into Carlfest, and it's a beautiful thing.
Well, credit to them. Thanks very much for letting us have the garden, and they've done it again today. Let us sneak in while the general public are all waiting outside like zombies, like with dry throats in the summer.
They're in there now. It's rammed in there. You can't move. Why aren't they in the garden? Whenever I get a beer in this pub, first thing I do is out here. There's a bench just over there, and that is my pew for a summer's day. And you can't beat it. Just watching this garden in full bloom, it can't be beaten.
So Carlfest, obviously. So how many acts did you have on the first one? Ish.
It's about 12. I
About
think.
12.
Yeah, it was over 5 days. That was
Over 5 days, and you had 12 acts.
That was the Jubilee weekend.
Oh, okay.
In 2012. Remember that 5-day, 1st to the 5th of June?
Yes.
It was that one. And basically, I'll tell you the story of it. Me and my partner at the time were sat in a pub other end of town. There's a theme. With me and pubs.
We like pubs.
And so we were
Suffolk,
sat in this pub, and we got a phone call off our friend Jamos, and he said, "My mate Carl got cancer, wants to organise a music event to raise some money. Can you help?" And we were already in the scene organising some other local events. Well, yeah, we'll help. What does he want? He went, just a day of music. It took us about a couple of hours, and we booked about 10 bands or so. We came down and met with Carl, and this idea formed into let's do a 5-day music event. Let's see what we can do, and it went from there. And that was in the March, and then by June we had it all done. K Fest, which was another local festival, you probably remember it.
Mm-hmm.
That was slap bang in the middle on the Sunday, so we just had one band down here then because we were busy over there. And yeah, we ran this 5-day mental, and we didn't know any of the people here. We didn't know the pub. We didn't know, the story and stuff. And we kind of got sucked into it and dragged into it. And I've been friends with the regulars and the owners of this pub ever since, and friends for life. Genuinely, this event has changed my life, and I think it's also done a lot for a lot of people in the community. I mean, we're looking at over 40 grand raised from this one event over the last decade. That's not bad.
From a little seaside town in Suffolk, who's doing their part, and like you say, it doesn't matter how much you raise. Obviously, that doesn't matter as long as you're doing something for good.
Definitely.
But to say that that you've raised close to £40,000 over the last 10 years just by putting on a music event, nothing else, nothing towards, just literally putting on something. And the good thing about when it comes to charity and putting events on like that, it's nice when it works both ways. People feel like they're getting something for it, but they don't realize that their money's changing lives and going to help other people.
This is it, and that's why we've always done it, where it's the simple things at a festival where you make the difference. So our outdoor beer tent, every single penny that's taken in the outdoor bar goes to the charity. Right. The beer is donated from local breweries, local wholesalers, and the pub itself. And we encourage the use of the outdoor bar more than we do. The indoor pub bar is the pub take that money, but they're open for the week. They've got to cover their costs.
Of course they do, yeah.
Because there are costs involved in putting this all on, and we don't want the charity to have to pay them. So we covered them with the indoor bar. The outdoor bar, that every single time you buy a beer, you're donating to charity. Mm-hmm. And your Red Nose Days are fantastic, and your comic reliefs and all of that. But you're buying a beer and donating money to the whole of that £3
so it's not like,
for a pint.
Text 10 to such and such and such, and and it's going off, and you go, okay, that's just going to show up on my credit bill. You go, what did you do last night? I said, well, I had 6 pints, so in turn I've probably spent about 40 quid on charity.
I got wasted and saved lives.
There you go. See,
and it's only £3 a pint. Most of the time.
If that doesn't make you want to drink, we're not condoning alcoholism.
No,
but on that
not.
one particular weekend, the more you drink, the more lives you could save, and I think that's a sport I could get behind. I could get behind that sport. So we've started 10 years ago. We're now up to CFX. 10 years on. The sun is shining, and fingers crossed for the event. You have something similar in 4 weeks' time when this all kicks off.
Genuinely, the only obstacle we face normally is the weather.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can't tell. 1 year, 2018, I think it was. I was opening, so I often play an acoustic set. I don't gig often. When I do, it's at Carlfest, and I played an opening set right where we're sat right now, and the heavens just opened. It just absolutely, the only people who stayed outside were the people who wanted to take the out at me.
Yeah,
they were taking the mickey,
of course.
Which they're my friends. I expect that of them. Everyone else went indoors, and then after that, we had to move the whole event indoors, and it wiped about £1,000 off our total.
Yeah,
that's the way we calculate it. Yeah, no, that was another 1,000. But yeah, it is very weather dependent, and sometimes it can be too hot. If we were doing it now, you'd probably find that it'd be too hot for a lot of people. Because once you've got a few people in the garden,
the heat rises. Of course it does, because you're all together, crammed
in.
So what we're going to do, we're going to do a bit of promotion then. So the event starts officially on the 27th of August this year. bands playing all the way through until the Monday, the bank holiday Monday. So it runs perfectly through the weekend. So if you're working on the weekend, but you have the Monday off or so on and so forth, you get to come down at least for 1 day, 2 days and celebrate, obviously. So who is opening up this year? Is it you?
No, why would we do that to people?
I don't know, because we're going to hope it rains again.
No, the opener every single year since the first year is Jamos. Jamos was the person that asked me to organise the event in the initial stages. He was friends with Carl, and he's a well-known local musician and contributes a lot to the local music scene. And so he always plays at least 2 sets, often more, depending on what bands he's in, because he's a little bit,
everywhere.
He's a bit, I mean, he's a bit promiscuous when it comes to his bands. I think is the best way of saying it in the afternoon. He will open again this year, as he has done for the last decade. Good.
Yeah. And what kind of, other than obviously having a beer tent out here and obviously being able to serve alcohol and raise money, what kind of things in atmosphere are people expected for those that will be coming down? We're hoping, unfortunately, with the pandemic and obviously that being over, as fingers crossed, with people still being a bit wary, but because it's a small pub, they're not letting in 4,000 people anyway, so it is a case of
nowhere to put them.
What, 4,000 people?
No,
I mean, they're just standing on each other's shoulders.
There's a few storage solutions, but I mean, they'd be in the cellar.
You probably just get people just like hiding in the bush.
Yeah.
I literally like that Simpsons meme of Homer just kind of disappearing into the bush. You're just pushing people into the bush to just go. You just stay in
Licensing have come round. Get in the bush. No, we have restricted numbers this year, and we will be counting how many people are in a majority of the weekend.
But it's not a ticket event.
Not a ticket event. No, it's a free entry event. You don't have to have a ticket. You don't have to apply to get in. It's a first come, first served. I mean, there's some days that I've arrived and they haven't let me in, which is really awkward because I did run the stage. Actually, I think I just got barred that year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what kind of bands is there? Is there like a generic genre that goes all through, or is it up and down? What could people expect?
So, normally I spend a lot of time emailing bands and asking, "Will you come and play for free?" Because everyone gives up their time for free for this event. And so I used to spend a lot of time sending out emails, using Facebook Messenger, and to get my bands. This year, I thought I'm gonna put a stab out there and just put an application form up. If bands want to play, if they're ready to be starting to gig again, because following this pandemic, there's a lot of bands that just aren't confident enough they want to spend some time in the studios. So I put up an application form, and it just went nuts. I could have added an extra day or two to the event, and it is a wide kind of genre encompassing event. You've got your rock music, and you've got your classic pub rock bands where you can have a sing and a dance to some songs but there's blues, there's jazz, there's folk, there's punk, there's country, there's pop rock, I think everything. I haven't got any gypsy folk this year. We've had that before. And I don't think I've got any
type of music, not just random people walking in.
Gypsy folk. But no, I haven't got. There's a couple of sort of world music acts that I've normally had. I haven't got anything like that this year. But there's plenty of indie, pop, kind of dancey stuff. The only provision is for the acts that play is it has to be live. So basically, if the members of the band stop playing music, the music stops. No backing track, no electronic kind of. I don't mind dance music. I don't mind drum and bass. I don't mind DJ sets. But that's not what this event is for. It's a live music event. And so that's the only stipulation, that it has to be live, and actual instruments playing music.
Okay. I guess with this being the 10th, and obviously we've spoken behind the scenes about what the future is, but there's a reason why it's here, and you've probably been asked 500 times a day, and especially leading up and after the event. Would you be a part of this event if somebody said, I want to make it bigger and move it?
I'd be part of a event if they wanted to make it bigger and move it. Carlfest lives here. This is where Carl wanted Carlfest. And so no, Carlfest lives here. The event, this is the last year that it's going to be a 4-day event. We've done it for 10 years as a 4-day event. And next year we're scaling it back a little bit. It's going to be slightly smaller. It's going to be a 1 full day of music, one kind of afternoon the next day, more for the friends and family of Carlfest to come and invite kind of a little acoustic shindig. But if the offer was to put on a larger event, I would do it, but it would have a different name, and it would be run slightly alongside Care and Real Oven rather than being Carlfest. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be.
Yeah, that makes
the main reason
sense,
being Carlfest is not self-funding. It's free from every single aspect. It is free. There is no money exchanged anywhere along the line. We beg, we plead, and we borrow our way to build the event. So this year we've got a scaffold stage being built. Normally we use a marquee, and that's been provided by Area Scaffolding.
Thank you very much, Area Scaffolding.
And they're doing that free of charge. They're providing all the insurances and doing everything free of charge. Me and Sean, the landlord from the pub, pay out a lot of money, which some of it we recoup through various means, but everything that everyone donates, everything that goes into it is then dished out into the community where it's needed. If we were to put an event on a larger scale, you'd need to have investors. You need to have,
of course,
a little bit more politics involved, and that takes away from the ethos of Carlfest.
Yes.
So Carlfest is here, will always be here. If a Care and Real Other music festival popped up elsewhere, it's not off the cards.
So for those that are watching and they may not be from the Lowestoft Suffolk area, have no fear. It's live this year as well. Is that right?
So last year we live streamed because of that dang COVID. Getting it all up in our grills, we couldn't host. Although in August the pubs were allowed to open, it was social distancing, it was mask wearing, it was limited numbers, and so we hosted a little thing on the Sunday here as a little party for people who were invited only. Pub was closed to the public, but we live streamed the rest of the event, and we actually raised as much money as we normally would with the full event. It was all pre-recorded sets, live over Facebook and YouTube. And it was an absolutely massive success. And to be honest with you, I think I'm not just because grandfather COVID's kind of weaning off, I'm not going to lose that appeal. Yes. Let's keep up and make sure that if you're not in Lowestoft and you're a fan of the event, you've been before and you've moved away, or you saw some of the coverage from last year, or you just like some good live music, we're going to be live streaming across Facebook and YouTube over the weekend. Not the whole thing, just the highlights and the select acts and stuff. But technology provided, you know what it's like. We will make sure
we do know what it's like.
We will make sure that the event is accessible to people outside of the area just as much as it is people in the area.
Okay, well, like you say, we're promoting it. There's probably bands out there or people watching now going, who's playing? If you'd like to reel off a list of people that you can read either from a list or from the top of your head of people they can expect to see, the local acts and people that may have travelled from afar. So obviously Jamos is kicking us off on the Friday night. It does start on a Friday night as opposed to Friday morning because most people are at work. So then Nathan Cochran is going to be after Jamos on the Friday, and that heads into our headliner on Friday, Lincoln Skins. Absolutely phenomenal guys, Lincoln Skins, acoustic kind of country duo, originals and covers, really worth checking out. And then on Saturday we have Collars opening up with Chris Taylor second. Love Songs for Losers are making their first full band appearance as opposed to a solo acoustic. Nice. Then the Michael LaFleur Collective, brand new entry for this year's festival. Project X, another debut performance from them. They're a pub rock covers band, like the proper good covers bands that you hear. You've got Red Wine Talk with their original kind of indie poppy kind of rocky stuff. After that, Like Optimists, them playing on Saturday at 7:00. They're one of my highlights of the weekend. Those guys know how to perform good punk rock. Why do I feel like you're like Tony Blackburn doing the top 40 wind down?
That's exactly how I feel.
I love it. Go for it. Keep going.
And then after that, you're going to have Scarlet with their original blend of rock music at 8:00 on the Saturday. And then headliners Saturday night. Headliners, we have to head indoors because we're in a residential area. Believe it or not, we're not in the middle of the countryside. There's actually a power station right behind us and houses everywhere. So we have to head indoors. 9:30 p.m. on the Saturday, you're going to have Drunk Shop Poets. And if you've ever seen them live, look forward to it. If you haven't seen them live, don't bring the kids. And then
you keep waffling.
Okay, I'm going to take center stage here, guys.
I'm going to turn this so people can see where we are. You keep waffling.
Oh, so I'm not even on the camera. Okay. So then on Sunday, the 29th of August, Stephanie Tia is making a debut performance at Carlfest, followed by Jade Grand. Now, Jade is an excellent vocalist. You might know her from bands such as Gold Rusher. She's well known in the Norwich area, kind of a bluesy, jazzy, folky, fantastic stuff there. The Jam Shedders are making their debut performance at 3 o'clock. And then 4 o'clock is currently an unconfirmed slot. We don't know who is going to be playing at 4 o'clock.
No, I'm not coming back to play.
No? Okay. Hopefully by the time the event starts, we will know exactly who is playing. And then Same Old Devil with original and covers of a kind of a really rocky, grungy style. It's SBT, if you like classic punk music. SBT are joining us at 7 o'clock on the Sunday night. Storm are headlining outdoors. That's heavy kind of rock covers on the Sunday, and then indoors the Boston Tea Party Band are going to party the night away on that Sunday. That brings us to Monday, the last of the lineup. Ryan Redwood is playing his first set, despite being good friends. I gigged with him about 6 years ago. He's playing his first set at Carlfest as a solo artist. Not a return at 3. Light Skies Darken. It goes a bit proggy in the afternoon, which I don't mind, to be honest, for a Monday when you're kind of a little bit hungover. Light Skies Darken are playing at 4, and Mother Black Cap at 5. Jamos will be playing again at 6 o'clock. He always does this Monday at 6. We have a little toast to Carl. He plays a couple of songs that mean a lot to members of the Care and Real Loving community, and we will have a bit of a sing and a bit of a cry, truth be told. Matt and Heidi will be playing at 7 o'clock on the Monday, and then the Uninvited will be closing the last ever big Carlfest at 8 o'clock on the Monday night.
Who invited them?
They're not invited.
Oh, okay. So they're not coming. Oh, they are.
No, they just crash gigs.
Yeah, so that's the lineup. You can see that all over on the Facebook page for Care and Real Loving Facebook page. There's, as you all well know, you can see it's being posted there. There'll be a lot more promotions and plug-in, obviously, over the next 4 weeks. That 4 o'clock slot that we were mentioning as well, hopefully that gets filled up really soon, and that will be advertised as well on the Facebook page. As you can see there, we've given you a bit of a display of the garden. It's not massive. It's no way Hyde Park or, Madison Square Gardens or anything like that.
But the joy of it is you wouldn't know it was there. And if from the front of this pub, you would not know that this beer garden is here. And it's a hidden little gem that once a year kind of springs into life. And like I say, you can fit a couple hundred people out here. And if you are concerned over social distancing and the effects of the coronavirus, we're currently writing the risk assessment for the event, and we will make sure that there is adequate sanitizers. Face masks will be encouraged to be worn. We can't make anyone wear them, and we won't, but we will be offering them free of charge for people to wear. And we will also make sure that we prioritize contactless payments and things like that. We are still taking that risk very seriously. Whether we have to introduce a passport, a vaccine passport, which I know is on the cards, we will follow all government guidelines as and when they come. So yes, it's a small venue, but we'll try and make it as safe as possible for everyone that's attending the event.
I mean, you can't really go wrong there. I think we've summed up literally what it's all about. The Mariners Rest is, as always, for the last 10 years, has played host to not only the music acts, but punters that literally probably don't even come to this pub 364 days of the year, and come down, 1, because it's a charity event, 2, because they love live music, and 3, because this is such an amazing place. As Darren's just said there, you walk past the front of this pub and you think, nice little small pub there. I don't really want to go. I don't want to go sit inside. On a lovely day like this, and then you go, "Oh, would you like to use our beer garden? Please just go to the right, and you step out here, and you're on a little tiny wonderland of pleasure."
That's absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
It really is.
Can I just address one of the comments? Chloe's said, "Can I do face painting again if I'm not working?" Of course you can. Even if you're working, I'll fully expect you to go sick.
Chloe's boss is watching too.
No, Chloe, if you can arrange the time off to come and do face painting, that'd be great. It is a family event. We encourage people of all ages to come and attend. So we do provide, normally we've got a magician kind of milling about doing little bits. I want to get some like drag queens and comedians and a little bit of artistry in there, performance art, face painting. There's little stalls, there's tombola. Can I do a little appeal?
You crack on, mate.
So raffle. raffle. We do have a charity raffle over the weekend, and we are in need of local businesses and individuals to provide us with some prizes for the raffle. Now, we know it's been a really tough time for local businesses, and so what we're offering to do is provide you with some heavy promotion via our Facebook page, which has has just under 1,000 subscribers to it. We have a community group which has over 1,500, plus my own personal page, the pub page. We will provide promotion in order to kind of give you a little bit of recompense for any donations that you make. So if you run a local business, or if you have just some stuff in your cupboards that you think someone else might want, that we can either raffle it off or put it in our tombola. And so if you want to do that, you just need to get in touch with me. Chaturday will post my contact details after this, and then just let me know if you can help us in any way achieving that target of £5,000 that we've kind of set ourselves for this year's event. So thank you.
Can anybody make a quiche?
The missus makes a lovely quiche, truth
Can
be
we not
told.
raffle off a quiche? I love a
No,
quiche.
no, because she'd make it and I'd eat it.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Do like a quiche.
Jam sponge?
Yeah, not a fan.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not a cake man.
Well, no, not a cake man. But when we do say people that can give a little bit, that is obviously if you're personally got something like you said lying around that you'd like to. Businesses, crack on. You may think, well, what could I possibly raffle off? It may be even you can raffle off your time if you're a painter and decorator. You might be able to say I could raffle off, a day's work of maybe touching up bits around your house.
My argument would be don't raffle off a day's work. Look at your daily rate. Raffle off just under, and then you can get yourself some business as well. You know, if you're a tattoo artist, offer 2 hours tattooing, because I know as someone who likes tattoos, I'd pay the extra hour, have a 3 hour. You know, offer something that is going to generate income for your business. I'm not expecting you to say, right, I'm a painter and decorator, I'm going to come paint your house for free. No, don't do that. Offer a piece. It gives something to the community. It allows us as a charity to raise some money. But I understand businesses are struggling at the moment, so it also gives you, I think I've upset him. It also gives you the opportunity to promote and gain a little bit more and make some money. So we have to work together in these really kind of strange and difficult times, and that's what we want to do. We're not just on the take. We want to make sure that everyone can sustain their business and as well as give back a little bit to the community at the same time.
I know you're watching, Robin. I won't mention your company, but you know what to do. Get in touch with Darren and make it happen. Again, we are sitting here enjoying a nice cold beverage, which I mean that's about 42 degrees now. It's been sitting here for 5 minutes.
It's nothing cold about that anymore.
It's got a bit wham outside here. Again, Carl and the Community is still, if you're watching on Carl and the Community, the Facebook page, it's still an active Facebook page just because the pandemic seems to be wearing off and you can go out and see your friends and family. Please feel free to still use it as a social networking platform to communicate, de-stress, ask questions, seek help or offer help. Don't let these support networks die. The pandemic has done bad things, but it's also offered us good things, which is to show that we do come together in times of need. And we haven't all turned into robots and started living our lives. We do depend on each other. So make sure that still continues. And that echoes on Chaturday Live as well. If you see anything that we post on Chaturday Live, feel free to like it, share it, pass it on. It may not affect you, but it may affect the next person that you share it on to.
Agreed. And social media is a funny old place, but sharing is one of the most powerful things you can do, both on and off of social media. So if you see something and you think that could help someone, share it. Likewise with our event, if you can't attend yourself, just share it. If you don't want to invite someone or anyone, just share it. Just share. And
it costs you nothing to share.
No.
It doesn't affect your life. It doesn't upset your daily regime to like and share your friends' business pages and their Facebook pages. If they're trying to get something off after a pandemic, they may go, I've sat at home now and I've taken up crochet and I really like it and I want to get it out there. I've got 15 likes on my Facebook page. You may not be into crocheting, but what it may affect your friend's life may be the world of good to them. So, don't be selfish. Pass it on. Like and share everything you see on Facebook that is personal. Don't share something that's like stupidly overrated, like Thompsons are giving away a £2,000 gift voucher, because that's not real.
It's definitely not.
But if
I didn't get it, I didn't receive it.
But if your mate has started, or your friends or family have started something on social media and they could really use your support, whether you're into it or not, it will make the world a difference to their business and probably, make them feel a bit better and positive as well. And especially for those that know that we're all about mental health awareness, we're doing our part to ensure you that we are here for you, and it can be extended by you guys at home. Just to offer an olive branch and just say, hey, I shared your Facebook page saying that you like to collect snake skins. It's not my cup of tea, but somebody else might like it.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Because I've got some.
You got some snake skins?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I want to make some
If
boots.
anyone wants any snake skins, well, no, these are sheds more than skins. I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, it's we rely massively on the generosity of local community and of the online community. And so, if anyone can give our event a share, invite some people, let people know that our charity exists, that our community page exists, then yeah, we rely on that kind of goodwill, that good nature. So please do help us if you can.
It sounds like we're waffling on, and we are a little bit, but at the same time, we are making it very apparent that this event, come hell or high water, is still going ahead. Fingers crossed. And all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning the ticket is email me personally your bank details. No, we're not doing that. We always said it was free, didn't we?
Yeah, it's free.
Why?
If you're going to come though, and you do want to donate to the cause before you get here, because sometimes when you get there, your pocket money is there for your brewskis.
It's £50 admin fee.
If you do want to come and you want to make a little donation, just go to PayPal. So it's at Care and Real Lovin'. So PayPal.me, isn't it? They say / I think it's PayPal.me / Care and Real Lovin', no G on the Lovin', and you can make a donation there. So if you do want to contribute to the good work of the Charitable Foundation that helps people who are suffering financially due to ill health, then that's how you can do so. Anything from £1 upwards, I think it's a £5 minimum.
Yeah,
don't know what PayPal does now.
Well, I don't know either.
So anything from £1 up, let's say £1 up, you can donate via PayPal.me / Care and Real Lovin'. If you want to make a donation, and every donation is much appreciated and continues our good work. So
I still pay by check, and I've got pesetas from my last holiday.
We
That's how bad it
don't
is.
take checks anymore.
Don't take checks?
No, our checking account is they charge us for checks now.
Yeah, they will. I've got pesetas. If you've got any leftover foreign euros or something, like bring those as well. We'll exchange
foreign
them.
euros as opposed to those good old British euros.
Ireland euros. I don't know. Do you know what the heat has got to me?
I think it has, hasn't it? He said half a can of Coke.
Where are we?
Where
are we? We're not up north anymore.
What, in this weather?
Oh, this is not northern weather. Oh yeah, the sun is shining. That's why I look so pale and pasty. I'm trying to get a tan now. For those that do live up in the local area of Carlisle as well, as we've mentioned, if nothing's going on where we are, which I'm sure we will in Carlisle, you can tune in there on the Facebook page for Care and Real Lovin'. Just pop in for 5 minutes, have a little look and see what's going on. Stick a thumbs up or a like on the live stream just so they know that you're there, and then you can disappear and get on with the rest of your day. But the support of being there, even if it's not financial, means that what Darren and the rest of the guys here at the pub and the people and the bands are putting in means it was worthwhile. So it doesn't all have to be financial. It's more about a sign of respect to say, look, we clicked on, we liked it, we loved it, we shared it. Keep up the good work, because things like this will just fade out if people don't get the respect. And it's the same as when you watch any video. If you tune in and you just like pop in and then you go, I've disappeared there. We don't know you liked it. We didn't know it was interesting to you. Show a little bit of love, as they say.
If we can just improve your day for half an hour by live streaming a little bit of content, that's what matters. Making sure that you're distracted or entertained, and that's the important thing. So, any content creators, make sure that they're aware of as I disappear. Make sure that they're aware that you're enjoying the content they've created for you.
I mean, for those that have just tuned in a little bit, like you can see that we've turned the car around now, and this is what you see at the back of the Mariners Rest. That is literally off the street, and people don't realise it's here.
You would not know it was there.
How beautiful is this pub garden? They're doing pints now for £10 a pop. It's £3 probably, but we're taking a lot of commission today.
Yeah. I mean, we're here all day. We'll take our cream off the top.
We are the Max and Paddy of Lowestoft. We are doing IDs. COVID passports can be done on the back of a B&M receipt. We don't care. Just come and have a pint. Face masks, not necessary, but I've seen some people around Lowestoft, so probably necessary.
Necessary? How much have you...
I don't know what's in this.
Yeah. It's one of those special Cokes.
I was a lot better when I was, just drinking water. I'll remember that from now. The sun gets to you. Ladies and gentlemen, from me and Darren, Mr. Steger Lewis, literally, thanks very much for having me in your back garden.
It's not mine.
Well, yeah, but we can pretend.
Yeah.
Anybody's just tuned in right now.
This is where I live.
This is Darren's house.
I wish.
He does all right, really.
It's a public house.
It's your public house. That makes more sense. You can get yourself down here now today if you want and find out some more information. Darren's going to be around probably for an hour or so doing a bit of more PR work on his Mobilia phone, and obviously there's leaflets about this we've shown. So even if you want a bit more information about it, or you may be in a certain band that was thinking, hey, at 4 o'clock I could be certainly relevant. That would make more sense. Pop down and speak to Darren about it. Oh my God.
Yeah, by all means, come down and see. I'm here most of the time. In this time of year, anyway, I seem to spend a lot of time. This is my office.
This is
I like to refer to
it's
it
not
as.
a bad office.
I've had worse.
So you're working from Gnome. You're the garden gnome now, are you?
Like that.
Does that one work?
I like that.
I like that one. I just made that one up on the spot.
Good.
I like that one. Right, before we waffle on too much.
I think we have.
Right, I'm just going to keep going because this is why we are here to plug, and this is why we are waffling. There's still people there, like literally, have either passed out on the sofa listening to us, or they're interested. Once again, Carfest.
And if
CFX.
you are local and you want a poster to put up in your window or your business, get in touch. Robin. Let me know. I'll drop them round, and you can promote. Even if you put it in your car, I'll have some posters in my car come next week, and yeah, make sure that everyone sees CFX and goes, what is that? And you go, that is the best music festival to take place in Lowestoft. Well, I think we could probably call it the only music festival in Lowestoft this year.
Of any worth.
No, literally the only. Everything else has been cancelled because we hold it so late in the year. We get away with it. We've been lucky.
I've got such a steady hand. People would think it was just a pop-up on the screen. Look how good I'm literally just advertising it. The band's names are there. There are a lot more. This is just a mini flyer just to let you know what's going on. Remember,
also, I booked bands after it went to print. Who normally you'd wait until you get everything confirmed, send it to print. I got excited, sent to print. 2 bands confirmed the day after.
Oh yeah, and while we're here, as Darren did say, we're going to do it now. This is what we mean about sponsorship. Obviously, we've got these ones flyers, but we do want to do a shout out again for Area Scaffolding.
Area Scaffolding are providing our staging this year free of charge. Thank you.
Nice one. And we also have Smart Radio 101, who'll be plugging it to death.
Smart Radio are our main promotional sponsor. I should have put a little Chaturday logo maybe next to that, shouldn't I?
Why didn't you? Do you know, it's things like this that just show everybody on the internet how selfish you can be, Darren, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's worse bits of me on the internet.
There's worse bits of you on the internet. And we also have
Ink Studios. Ink Studios have provided the sound engineering and equipment for the event for the last 5 or 6 years.
Boom.
They now are the main sponsor of the outdoor stage. It's called the Ink Stage. And yeah, it's a rehearsal studio storage solution place up the road in Lowestoft, and they have made sure that without them, this event really wouldn't be happening. They are the most important sponsor that have kind of pulled out of the bag every year. So to Glenn and the team at Ink, thank you so much.
Because otherwise they would be literally doing it with the dodgy Argos karaoke machine.
It'd be me in a small gazebo with one of those, those kids karaoke machines.
Yes.
Get. Yeah,
just walking around with that with really bad reverb on it.
I mean, there's not even any volume on it anymore. It got wet one year and it broke. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much. I've been Jason Robinson, host of Chaturday Live. Darren has been host of Care and Real Loving in the Community, and together we are Wayne's Wild. No, Wild Stallion.
I'm not entertaining you on this one.
Why? We could be DJ. That works. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much. People are coming in to use the garden now, so we best run away. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much. Remember to keep an eye on the old social media pages, and we will see you all again soon.
Bye-bye.
Ciao for now. Bye-bye. That's where we go. Oh, did it do it? I don't know. Did it?
It ended it.